Hi, everybody. It's Nikki. Thank you so much for joining Small Business Saturdays. We're back. Today we have Andrew Dante Hillmedo. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. And how are you?
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm really good.
I appreciate it.
I've been very busy, and so have you.
Yes, yes. Thank
Yeah,
God. 'Cause, a lot of people aren't during this COVID situation.
I know. So last week we had a conversation with a client of mine. Her name is Sandra Garcia, and she was talking about the importance of marketing for small businesses. And she said that everything should be on a digital platform.
Hmm.
However, she broke it down. She said that not only should you do social media, but you should focus on email campaigns and most importantly, video. So of
Yeah.
course, when she said that, I was like, oh my God, I have to call Dante. So you guys, I call him by his full name. His full name is Andrew Dante Hillmedo.
Hmm.
So, but he's also known as Dante. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about your company?
Sure. I own a company called Team Elite Productions, LLC. And what I do is pretty much create content for entrepreneurs and various clients, whether that's artists or companies, and I help them with their branding and, getting their products and their brands across in a very, very unique way that inspires emotion and some feeling for their audiences. We do commercials, music videos, interviews, you name it. Anything that's a visual content, we create that.
Right. So if I'm a small business and I know that I need to create video content, what are the first steps that I should take?
I think that the first thing that you need to do is know your demographic. Who are you selling to? That's one of the main things that you need to know. What age range are you looking to sell to? What sex is it, male or female? Also, what are their likes? And then the next thing you need to do is what problem does your product solve or your brand or service? Because if you cannot directly tell what service or what problem your service is actually going to solve or provide a need to, then you're going to lose out on your customers. Because remember, when it comes to visual content, a lot of people tune out after the first couple of seconds if it does not relate to them or interest them. So you got to be able to answer that question within those first couple of seconds of whatever type of visual content that you're making.
Great. So if I'm a potential client, is that something that I need to do on my own first, or is that something that you take your clients through?
Well, it depends. I mean, I've so far a lot of the clients that I have already had that information because they've been in business for some time. They've seen who gravitated towards their product. But for those who hasn't, that's something that I definitely do as well. We go through and look at their statistics and look at their insights on Instagram and social media and see who are those people that are really tuning into their content, and then we compare that with whatever their services are and whatever their products are, and see how we can tie that in to their target demographic. And if they're not reaching the target demographic, then we go into what type of ads or marketing we can do to try and get your product or service in front of those people that you're trying to sell to.
That's good information. So, have you ever dealt with a client who's come to you with like no logo, no brand likeness? They just want to do a video. How do you handle situations like that?
Well, I tell them, first of all, branding is everything, and your logo is pretty much your image. That's what a lot of people recognize people for. So I tell them, if you don't have one, the first thing that you definitely should do is get one. You should also have a running website. So these are things that not only help brand your company, it also makes you look more professional when other customers or clients come to see what you have to offer. So I definitely give them outlets to get these things done and then also help them work the video around that. So what tends to happen in situations like that, we turn it into a big release. You have your logo now, you have your website, and now you have your promo video, and then you set that off, launch, and run for the races and see what happens.
So, on average, how long is the typical promo video? Do you create different lengths based on platform?
Yes, definitely. A lot of people like to keep things short because, like I said, in this day and age, when it comes to social media, people attention spans are very short. So 30-second videos are normally what people gravitate to and will watch the full thing of. But those that have more insightful videos, let's say if you're doing a real estate promo or something where you have more information to give out, then a 1 minute video would be ideal. But again, with longer videos, you got to make sure you're capturing the audience's attention. So a great way to do that, start off the video with a question that would be relatable to the viewers. For example, is your credit extremely bad and you want to buy a house but you're facing difficulties in doing so? And then provide your solution or lead into your solution. And continue to include these questions to keep people engaged throughout the video. It's 1 minute, but a lot can be told in 1 minute. So you got to use that time wisely and also make sure that it's engaging to whoever's watching.
Wow. So can you tell us about some of your successes with clients over the past year as far as video content and their small business?
Sure. For example, I have done a lot of commercials for a restaurant in White Plains, New York called Holy Crab. They make Cajun seafood, and we've done so much in a short amount of time that's really, really gotten them a great amount of customers. They've even gone as far as to put the commercials that I shot in their front display window to attract customers that are passing by the store. We've noticed that utilizing that social media aspect and then tying in with some of the celebrity client that I know and having them eat at the store and help promote the store, it has brought their business up a lot from a lot of the areas that they wanted to get more customers from. It's White Plains, so it's kind of small, but he definitely wanted to reach other areas of New York, like the Bronx, like Yonkers, like Queens and Brooklyn, and we've managed to get people to come in from all over. They are constantly booked. I remember on Mother's Day this year, even with the COVID pandemic, there was a huge line outside of people waiting to get their takeout. So that was definitely one of my success stories when it comes to creating promotion that grabs the attention of the viewers and make people want to actually try out this service or the product.
That's great. So how did you get into this industry?
Well, it started off actually working for a company called Ari, which they make a lot of the cameras that are used in big budget production movies and commercials. I was a service camera technician for them for about 4 or 5 years before actually starting to do things on my own, where I started off doing photography and then getting into the film side of things and started my own company.
Wow. So are you currently working on any film projects?
I'm in the process of writing 2 feature films that I'm planning on shooting next year. I have a horror film that I'm planning on doing and also a drama / Jamaican dance hall film that I'm planning on shooting next year. Aside from that, I have a whole bunch of client projects that I'm working on. I'm supposed to be doing something with Dream Doll this coming week, and I have a few other upcoming artists whose music videos I'm supposed to be shooting throughout August.
Wow. So are these feature films or are these short films?
Feature films.
Oh,
Looking
wow.
to go between an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours for each film.
And did you have any instruction or any direction, like a mentor for this, or did you just decided to take a stab at it and create a feature?
Google has been my mentor. There's so much information on Google that if you look for it, you will find the resources that you need. For example, these scripts that I'm writing, I'm going to be submitting them for funding to see if I can get funding for the films. And then that'll also make things easier and allow me to hire more staff, more crew members to get this done. So I'm excited. The people that I told about it are excited, and I have a few investors and people that definitely want to be a part of it. So it's looking very good.
So would you rather work on the client side of things, like small businesses, or would you rather focus on Hollywood?
Hollywood is definitely my dream. I would like to say I'm kind of trying to follow the footsteps of Tyler Perry, starting out from creating his own content to building an empire. He's definitely made like his name a notable name like Spike Lee in Hollywood, and that's my goal. I'm not sure if I necessarily want to be doing drama, relationship type stuff like he does, but I know that horror films are something that I've always liked and enjoyed, and I feel like Hollywood has been missing a lot of good ones. So I'm gonna bring my creativity and my weird and crazy ideas to that platform and see if we can make a mark.
Amazing. So can you just tell everybody again where they can find you at online?
Sure, you can find me on Instagram at Dante Films. That's DanteFilmz on Instagram, and then also my website www.teamelitephoto.com. That's TEAMELITEPHOTO.com. And you can find all my social media stuff there as well as my latest content.
Amazing. So I think sometimes video is a little bit intimidating to the average new business owner. Can you kind of describe the budget that a new business owner should have as they're planning with the content that you suggested?
It really depends on what the business is looking for, because the budget could be as low as $200-300, and it could be as high as a couple $1,000s to actually get a quality video done. Now, if you're talking about something on the low end, like $200 to $500, it's going to be usually a short video, something with one camera, not too many added things like lighting and other equipment like jibs. Jibs is like a crane where you can, pan up and down from really high angles and stuff like that. It's going to be on the lower end of things. But the more money that you put into it, the more professional, the more higher quality your video is going to be. Because the thing is, what a lot of people don't understand is that camera equipment is extremely expensive, especially since most videographers rent their equipment. It costs a lot of money. So a camera, a big budget production camera like a Red camera, might cost them $500-600 or $800 for the day just to rent the equipment to shoot their commercial, depending on what accessories they get with it, what lenses they get with it, what lighting equipment. And then that doesn't even come into their cost of labor to actually do the shooting and cost of editing. So it really depends on what they're going for. But a quality videographer will speak with the business owner and see what works for their budget and give them a various options that they can choose that'll actually get that project done.
For those business owners who don't necessarily have the budget for those type of cameras, is there any way to leverage content online to create a video, or gifts or things like that online that they
Yeah.
can use to promote their business? And
Well, you see, the thing is too, what a lot of people should take advantage of, there are a lot of up and coming videographers, directors, etc., that are looking for small businesses just to create content to also build stuff for their resume. So they'll do things for free, or a free meal or whatever you offer, some products or whatever, just to get the content and shoot it for free and get you something what you want, and you don't have to go and spend an arm and a leg to get these videos done, and still end up with something that is great to showcase on social media or these platforms, or even utilizing a graphic designer just to create a nice little animated GIF for your product or your service. That works, and it does a lot more than video sometimes, because with the GIFs and the images, all the information is right there directly, so people don't really have to watch to get what you're trying to sell. They can see the image and know what it is, versus a video, they got to watch for a couple of seconds to understand what you're trying to promote to them, or what you're trying to sell to them. So both options are very viable. And like I said, there's a lot of up and coming videographers that are talented, but just haven't had the ability to shoot certain things to showcase their talent yet. So take advantage.
wow. So I'm thinking that businesses need to do some type of video audit. Like there's just so many different options, and
Mm-hmm.
that they need to do this audit to see what type of assets they need and kind of roll it out over the time. Is that something that you provide for your clients, like an overview of the different options
Mm-hmm.
over a year or two period of time? Do you create video content plans for your clients as well?
Yep. For the ones, for example, with Holy Crab, I've been, like I said, working with them for a few years, and what we've done with them is we've outlined every 3 to 4 months we're shooting a new commercial for the season, and also for new menus and new discounts that they decide to add on to it. And they have the options of what camera they plan on using and the detailed cost of what certain equipment would cost. So if they don't need the high end stuff, the low end stuff works. And I'll give an example of what the low end stuff would look like. If that's perfectly fine, then they'll choose that. Or if they want to go all out and have a Red Lobster-esque commercial, they know how much that is going to cost as well. So I definitely give the breakdowns and allow my clients to pick and choose what fits them and their budget.
Amazing. So how do you feel that social media has influenced your business over the past 4 to 5 years?
I would say that it has definitely tied in a lot of new clients into my work. Without social media, I probably would not be as far as I am today, because before that, it's either word of mouth, or you have to really be introduced to somebody to get a lot of these clients. But social media is like your new resume. So people can instantly click on your profile and see the work that you've done. And it's garnered a lot of interest. Like, I've done a lot of different work for artists, for brands, Bad Boy, Mona Scott. you name it. And a lot of that stuff came through just having myself on Instagram and one person seeing it and telling another person and so on and so forth. So it's been a huge help.
That's amazing. So I know you've given our audience enough information as to how to move along with video content for their small business. If I am an aspiring director or videographer, what are some tips that you can give them?
Definitely study your craft. It's a lot of people out there who pick up a camera, spend a lot of money on a camera, and don't really know how to use it the right way or the correct way. So I would say definitely study your craft, know the difference between ISO, shutter, and aperture, and get those basics, those quality basics down. Learn composition, learn about lighting. A lot of these things will make footage from a very cheap camera look better than those stuff that are shot with a very expensive camera. I've seen people.
You like my new ring light that I bought?
Yep, it got you looking vibrant like the sun. It's a good cost right there. Good thing. A lot of people, I've seen people actually get a red camera and shoot stuff with a red camera, and it looks horrible because they just really don't work on their lighting and their basics. So definitely learn the basics. Another tip that I would tell you is utilize Craigslist. There's a lot of things on Craigslist that mask themselves as other things. So, for example, there were many job postings for like stuff that's not paying but great exposure. A lot of those exposure-based stuff is like stuff for radio stations where you will be filming celebrities and stuff like that. And they don't actually say it in the post, but follow them up on it. It'll be something that'll be great for your resume. And that's actually how I got into SiriusXM, working for SiriusXM, and then that branched into a relationship with people like DJ Sus One, um, my other guy, Sean S. Dot, who is the program manager of SiriusXM Fly, Ron Mills, who's the program manager of Hip Hop Nation on Sirius Radio. So you don't know how these things are going to branch into other things that'll turn into money for you, but take advantage of them. They're there on Craigslist.
That's really good advice. I think there's a lot of aspiring people who want to get into the industry, but they just don't know how to start.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you told our audience you're also a teacher. How
Yep.
has being a teacher impacted your business and your outlook on things?
It's been pretty great, I would say, since not only do I get to do stuff for the school, but I get to do stuff for the students as well. There's a lot of kids that are in high school but don't know that you can actually get and make a lot of money working in video. It's not just, oh, you have to be behind the camera, but you can also do audio, you can do makeup, you can do special effects. There's various different fields in film that you can actually do that'll make you great money. And me being a teacher in that aspect, it opened up a lot of eyes for a lot of my students. I have a lot of students that have graduated and actually gone into film, working on big production stuff, being on red carpets. And I know that I'm the reason why they actually chose that path. So it was very rewarding.
I love it. Well, I just want to thank you for joining us today. I know you're on vacation and you squeezed us in, so I appreciate you. And I
Not a
think that
problem.
this content has been very helpful. Karen Gilmore out of Michigan said quality content. I think knowledge is power. And just one more thing. Do you plan on launching like an online school or any type of seminars regarding video content for aspiring videographers or on the alternative small businesses?
Thanks for asking. I definitely am in the middle of recording how-to vids and tutorial vids for the basics of film and photography at this moment. I'm hoping to have those ready to go by September so that people will be able to purchase them. And I'm going to make sure that it's, affordable because, again, there are many people who are, aspiring and they don't have the money like that. So I definitely want to make sure that it's easily attainable for those people that are interested in learning. And then it's going to go up in tiers. So the more that you get better, the more content you'll be able to put out, and you'll be able to fund all these things and also fund the more advanced videos. But it's definitely a field that you should get your feet wet in if this is something that you want to do. There's nothing better than being able to get up every day and create something that you're passionate about instead of working a job that you don't really care about and it's just to pay the bills. We only get one life to live, so you got to do something that you love and you enjoy.
I agree. Well, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and working with you, and I'm so very proud of you. And you're such a good guy, and
Thank you.
you're going to be very successful. I have no doubt about that. So, again, enjoy your vacation, and we'll talk soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.